I was talking to some people the other day, and we were talking about the different symbols in hip hop. And far and away, the Wu-Tang symbol is the most powerful symbol in hip hop, you know, really of all time. What is it about the Wu-Tang logo that's really made it so eternal?
I think as far as the strength that we had and the lives that we touched is what made that logo so strong that now it's just not, it's universal now. It's international. You know what I mean? It's like, it's everywhere. Like, and that's why I got one of my rhymes. I say, yo, man, every rap group that I ever heard, Wu-Tang got the most. Everywhere I go to Russia, and I see females tatted with W's on their neck. I seen niggas pull their pants down and have dirty on their leg. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I never seen that before with none of these new groups, no old groups. You know what I mean? But that Wu shit, man, it's for real, yo. But it's still for real though.
Yeah, I mean, even Dave Chappelle was throwing up the W in his skits.
Cause he know, you know what I mean? He recognized the shit. So it's like you know, it's like we bigger, even more overseas than what you was in the United States.
From your point of view, how did Wu-Tang come together?
Wu-Tang came together as you know, a bunch of us from Staten Island. We had some from Brooklyn, and like RZA had came from Brooklyn. He moved to Staten Island. You know what I mean? He was in Park Jail and he knew like Jack, Dugard, Ray, Mev. You know, they used to make tapes up there and all that stuff. I was distinguished in making tapes myself with my man R&S. You know what I mean? And then one day, you know, I knew Riz. I heard about him and shit. I knew him and shit. You know what I mean? Through other people. You know what I mean? He was a good fly nigga back then. He was a good fly nigga. This is like 87, 88, 86 and all that shit. So, you know, plus, you know, his brother had went to school and shit for like a year. You know what I mean? So we battled each other one day on stage and shit, like the whole clan. Only one that wasn't there was like Deck and Master Killah. So Kappa took home the $150. He took home the money.
You know, when you think like the most lyrical members, Cappadonna ain't really the one that most people think of.
Nah, he not. But when you check out Win the Wars and you see what he's capable of, then you understand how he won that battle. You know what I mean? So he fucked around and just scraped everybody at night. Took home the bread. I seen this flick called Wu-Tang vs. Shaolin. RZA was into karate flicks. But I brought the tape to him so he could see it. He wanted to make a group out that, and he wanted to form Wu-Tang Clan, and that's how it all started, from me bringing it to him like that. You know what I mean?
The way you guys were structured, it wasn't like any other hip hop group. But number one, you never had groups that were that big, and you also never had groups with plans to go solo right afterwards.
Right, exactly. So we brought that shit to the table, like, cause you know, like we brought it to Russell Simmons and them. They didn't want to do it because they was like, no, we want the whole group and shit, you know what I mean? Brought it to a few other people in the business, you know what I mean? They said, no, it's not going to work. But Steve Rifkin's the only one that said, you know what, I give you creative control, and if I can't match their deals, then they can go, you know what I mean? But I don't got no money. But I could just get y'all the promotion and the other shit that y'all want. So we did 36 Chambers for like, I might have got a G off that shit. You know what I mean? Everybody might have got a G and pay for the studio time, but that was it. So that might have been like 30 G's or something like that. You know what I mean? But and he put his money on the right horse. You know what I mean? And one thing just led to the next. And here we go.
When you guys put together 36 Chambers, did you have any idea what it was going to do?
I knew that we was coming through the crush niggas, but I just didn't know how big that it'll turn out, because I just knew what I was dealing with. It's like a basketball team. It's like if you know what you're dealing with, you got Jordan, you got Barkley, you got this one, you got that one. It's like, all right, we got a dream team right here. You know what I mean? And that was it. The only ones that we was like, that was our competition at the time was the Hit Squad. And when I'm looking at them like, okay, damn, those Redman is killing these niggas, and you know how Eric Sermon is and shit. Like them niggas was just nice. They had a nice team, but I was just coming through. My thoughts was like, yo, you know what? We got to get everybody. You know what I mean? Because you know it's competition. You know what I mean? But by the time we got in, they fucked around and fell apart. You know what I mean? Like, you know, things just go. Everybody go their separate ways and shit. and then they just left us right there, like on the East Coast, really like standing by ourselves as far as a group of members.
I'd heard that originally when the first album came out, you were never going to show your face. Like your face was always going to be covered.
Exactly. So with that, with the mask on and shit, it was like you know, I was doing shows and shit, but it was difficult because I needed a real mask. You know what I mean? I needed, you know what I mean? When you got like a fucking stock cap over your head, man, you can't fuck around and breathe that much. You know what I'm saying? Needed masks, but I didn't know who could get ahead and create a height mask for me where I could get ahead and do what I do and shit. You know what I mean? So I decided to be like, yo, I can't do that no more. You know what I mean?
The good thing about that group situation is it was a time where people only thought it was two Migos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Takeoff and Quavo was holding it down. And they was putting away money for Offset.
I would have to say maybe 5,000, because you gotta remember in TT Boy's career, he was able to do 100% of black girls and 100% of white girls. Whereas in my case, I'm limited to 100% of the ethnic women